Welcome to District 12's Professional Learning Series. I'm your host, Wanda LearnMore, and today we're going to learn about Positive Behavior Intervention Support Systems, or otherwise known as PBIS. So what is Positive Behavior Interventions and Supports? PBIS is a proactive approach to establishing the behavioral supports and social culture needed for all students in a school to achieve social, emotional, and academic success. Attention is focused on creating and sustaining primary, secondary, and tertiary systems of support that improve lifestyle results for all youth by making targeted misbehavior less effective, efficient, and relevant, and desired behavior more functional. The following diagram illustrates the multi-level approach offered to all students in the school. These group depictions represent systems of support, not children. As you can see, the primary prevention level makes up the majority of the triangle. This includes school-wide and classroom-wide systems for all students, staff, and settings. The secondary prevention supports group is a specialized group. This is for more targeted systems for students with at-risk behavior. And finally, you have the tertiary prevention support group, which is very refined, specialized, individualized, and these are for students with very, very high risk behavior. Usually, classroom teachers focus the majority of their time on the tertiary and secondary prevention systems without spending a great deal of time on the primary prevention. This is where PBIS comes in and where PBIS can be very, very beneficial to the classroom teacher because it focuses the majority of your efforts on that group, which will have the majority impact. In order to provide the instructional aspect of PBIS, you must first understand what the expectations are at your site. Ask yourself these questions. Do you know what the expectations are at your school site? How did you come up with those expectations? And where are they posted? When we say we would like to institute school-wide PBIS, that does not mean abandon all classroom management strategies. What it means is that as a team, that's the key, we have to incorporate the positive behavior enforcements that we as a team have decided on enforcing. The benefits of a school-wide system are that they increase the likelihood that desired behaviors will be represented in the culture. It also focuses staff and student attention on desired behaviors, fosters that positive school climate, and reduces the need for engaging in time-consuming disciplinary measures, such as sending students away to the office. Once you have developed school-wide expectations, it's not enough to just post the words on the walls of the classroom or in the hallways. You have to teach them. You want to model behaviors and provide students with written and graphic cues in the setting where the behaviors are expected. When you model behaviors, you are demonstrating for your students how you would like them to approach a given situation using the school-wide expectations that are posted all over. Also, acknowledge their efforts with your reinforcement system. Plan to reteach and restructure teaching and allow students to participate in the development process. Use teachable moments that arise in core subject areas and in non-academic times. So one example that I would like to give to you is walking in the hallway. Learning how to walk in the hallways usually takes place in kindergarten and first grade. By the time those students are in fifth grade, you no longer have to teach them how to walk in the hallway because that process has become cultural. The same is true for other behaviors. Once the behaviors have become cultural, you no longer have to teach them, and you can move on to other behaviors that are more pressing. When you first start your classroom, at the very, very beginning of the year, you have certain behaviors that you try to institute in your classroom. You must turn in your homework in this section. You must Wait until I dismiss you before you can get up. Don't be rude, right? You talk to them about that. You establish that at the beginning of the year, and from time to time you review that. You might have to do a reminder, but you're not as intense at the very, very beginning of the year. Research on teaching behavior expectations and procedures show that there is a decrease in problem behavior found in non-classroom areas where there was active teaching of expected behaviors, active supervision, use of pre-correction for prevention, and high rates of positive reinforcement. Let's talk about reinforcements. You should determine and teach the target skills, select the reinforcers you will use as a school, and establish a system of fairness. You will want to define and teach the reinforcement delivery system, and in your PBIS leadership team, develop a plan to fade or transition reinforcements as the behaviors become cultural over the course of time. Lastly, the team should determine how the plan will be monitored. When we talk about reinforcements, we're talking about what are we reinforcing? So specifically, PBIS is for behavior. We generally, as teachers, reinforce our instructional goals. Right? We reinforce it through grades, we reinforce it through praise. That's what we're reinforcing. Good job, good effort on this task. But what we're focused on for PBIS and for your Hawk coins is the behaviors that are associated with that. Positive reinforcements are not meant to be rewards-based systems. The time when a reinforcement turns into a reward is when you take that reinforcement and state, instead of giving them the expectation of behaviors, state, who wants a ticket? And if you pick up a ticket and wave it around, what you're doing is asking your students to play a game to get the reward. Instead, you want them to learn how to behave in a natural sense and learn when those behaviors should be applied. For teachers, we must work with our lesson plans to incorporate some behavior expectations within our instructional setting. You can build on what you already have with character development or expand upon what you use with your digital citizenship curriculum. Either way, you can develop a system for expanding behavior lessons throughout the year. What are some strategies for success with PBIS? As teachers, we need to be able to describe specific, observable behaviors for each expectation. If the expectation is to be respectful, what are some specific and observable behaviors that go along with being respectful? If you raise your hand and wait to be called on, that is being respectful to your peers versus shouting out and interrupting other people. Asking and answering questions is somewhat intuitive. When I ask a question, what do you normally do? Answer it. How, though? How do you respond? Thank you. Thank you for being responsible for your own learning by raising your hand to respond. As a staff, it's important for you to discuss what do those expectations mean in order to have some alignment across the school. Repetition is key to learning new skills. For a child to learn something new, it needs to be repeated an average of 8 times. But for a child to unlearn an old behavior and replace it with a new behavior, the new behavior must be repeated on average 28 times. Consider the reinforcement of behaviors that you are attempting at school and what's being reinforced at home. All of these processes can help us gain more time with our students, gain more insights into their character, and also help them carry that forward in their college and career ready life. So from me to you, want to learn more? To Sunnyside Unified School District 12, that's a wrap.